artist, last week you created the shape for your Greek pottery study. And we were inspired by the different shapes of the Greeks, but it was okay if ours looked a little bit different. Now, today you're going to take that shape and you're going to start decorating it. And you're going to need something black to draw with. A colored pencil, a marker, a crayon. Find something dark. If you don't have black, try gray or even a brown. That would probably work too. But get your paper from last week, something to draw with, and let's get started. Okay, so I have my Greek vases from last time still here. And what we're going to do today is we are going to start creating some designs. Now, there's several choices in how you do that. The very first style that the Greeks really started was something called the geometric style, which means they use geometric shapes or sometimes even other shapes, and they decorated their entire vase using those types of designs, much like this one. They may have put a few figurative type of designs in there, but mostly stuck with lines, shapes, and usually it's done with black. So you can do that, or if you also feel like it, you can add some designs in the middle of your vase, figurative designs, like I chose an animal here of a sea turtle. Remember, Greece was surrounded by mostly the sea, and so they were fascinated with sea life. And so if you want to add that, also you could do plants as designs. So let me just show you how you can get started on decorating your vase. So what I do is I usually start off by making a slightly curved line that goes all the way across my vase. I usually start with 2. And I'm going to make a design that fits between these 2 lines. So you can look at this for inspiration, but you can also come up with your own ideas. I'm okay with that. But whatever design you've decided to do, try to do the same thing all the way across. So for example, if I decided to make these spiral lines, then I would try to do that all the way across. Sometimes what I like to do before I start a new design is make an empty space. Now I could leave that orange, or I could color this in a solid area like this. I am going to draw, maybe I want this design to be a little bit larger, so my next line could go down here, and maybe in this space I will do some stripes. So you can see right now I've decided, oh, I went a little over my line, so I'm going to hide that by adding making that line thicker, and then nobody will see my mistake. Now I could just leave my vertical stripes this way, or I could go back and add things in between. I'm going to think about that before I go. Now if you have handles, it's also a great place that you can decorate. The handles on one side should match the handle on the other side. So I'm going to make some stripes. So then I do the stripes on this side. I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot of lines with this same thickness. So I think it might be a good idea for me to go back and make some of these lines thicker, because having everything the same thickness is going to be boring. So I'm just going to go back and make these lines a little thicker. I'm going to create some variety by changing the thickness of some of my lines. Now I could keep going and creating geometric designs in my pot. I'm doing a slightly curved line so that it ends up looking 3D. Maybe I'll color in a pattern. Now, if you wanted to draw this all with pencil before you get started so that you can erase if you make mistakes, that's fine with me. Now, if you want to just keep doing geometric designs all the way throughout your whole vase, that's fine with me. If you're interested in creating some figures, the Greeks, this is one way we know a lot about how the Greeks lived, is because we see some of their stories and their mythology on their Greek pots. So if you know something about Greek mythology and you would like to put that in there, or if you just want to put animals or other designs in yours. This one has a snake, and I don't know, this is some sort of four-legged creature. There's some horses on here. Do things that you know how to draw. And if you're not comfortable drawing a figure and you feel like more just drawing geometric designs for the whole picture, for the whole vase, that's fine. But if you decide you would like to draw an animal, I'm going to think of an animal that I know how to draw. I remember I learned how to draw a fish back in 2nd grade, so I'm going to use some fish on here. I'm going to draw the body of the fish and the fins. Remember, you can draw this in pencil first if you'd like. I'm going to put the eyes here. Maybe I'll draw more than one fish. Maybe this fish is going this way. So you can have a lot of fun drawing animals or people on here. Try to avoid doing cartoon characters because we're trying to sort of stick with the idea of being inspired by the Greeks, not by anything else. So you can have lots of fun ideas. Ooh, I need to do the dorsal fin. I forgot about that. You can put lots of details. If you know how to draw other animals, you can do that. Maybe an octopus or a bird. That's up to you. You know, the Greeks also had, they never just, very rarely did they just leave everything just as lines. So they usually would color something in. Now you could choose to color the fish in, and if you color the figures in, this would be called black figure. If you decide to leave the fish orange and then color the space around the fish, that would be called red figure because the color of the clay was considered red. So if you leave the figures red, it's red figure. If it's colored in black, it's black figure. There's a little bit of art history for you. I think, because this is such a big space, I don't feel like coloring all of that in. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to color in the fish. I'll leave the fins blank, but I will color the body of the fish in. So this will be a black figure vase. And once you get done designing your picture today, we are going to do one more thing with it. So I have finished designing quite a few here just to give you some different ideas that you can use on your Greek vase. You can use plants like trees or flowers. I use a grapevine on this one. You can do simple people or animals. Looks like they're chasing after this horse. Did some trees there too. Here's a little more detailed animal that you can do. This one I did all geometric type of designs. So really, one thing you want to make sure that you're doing is coloring in some of the things black. You don't want to just leave them all lines. Like I said, you can color around some things too to make them instead of coloring inside of things. So really that's up to you how you design yours. Just remember, use black crayon, marker, colored pencil would work great too. So once you finish that, then the next step is to take your Greek vase and we're going to glue it, frame it on another piece of paper. So what you want to do is get a glue stick and make sure you're getting glue on your vase. And making sure you're not having any part hanging off the edge. Press it on there. I like to turn it over and press. You can really massage that in there. If you turn it over and there's still some popping off there, then you need to go back and add a little bit more glue. Remember, when you're done today, if you're at school, to write your name, sign your artwork, also write your code on there. Then you're going to take a picture of this and put it on Artsonia, and if you're at school, if you're at home, you're going to put it also onto Seesaw. All right, I hope you've had fun creating yours today. If you watch this whole video all the way to the end, you'll see all of my finished designs. All right, stay creative, and until next time, goodbye.